What's up, boys? It's Nick from Team Tebel 501 here. I'm the king of the scrubs, and today I am back with round number 6 of the Crush Cardi Cup, and it's another repeat. I'm on Salamangreat. My opponent's on Dinosaur. Let's try to do a little bit better this time than we did the first time. So I lose RPS. My opponent decides to go first, which doesn't surprise me too much. Opener's quite bad, and then I see Soul Eating Oviraptor, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. And then my opponent just passes. So at this point, what's going through my mind is, first of all, why the hell did you decide to go first? And second of all, what the actual fuck did this man open? Like, how bad did you have to open that at the very minimum, you couldn't go into Halka-Fibrax or anything? Because at this point in the tournament, dual overload is legal. So at this point, I'm thinking, you're telling me you couldn't, at the bare minimum, make like a Halk play into summoning another tuner out of your deck, into converting that into cards. Now, granted, very few people had figured out the Auroradon combo, but it was well enough known to, at the very least, people were experimenting with it. Oh, sorry about that. It's been a long day. And so, I start my turn with Jaguar, doing standard plays at this point. Make a Sunlight Wolf. I decide to crash with the Oviraptor. There are just too many things that can go wrong if I leave it on the board. They Twin Twister me, I roar it, and they think they can activate their Overtext effect. Turns out we confirmed this later with the judge. It does not activate when being pitched for cost. And when I draw the Spinny and I out this Giant Rex with Rage, I'm thinking, okay, it's time to go for lethal, and Transcode cleans it up. So that's something I'm going to keep pointing out in these videos, is the Transcode OTK is the best part of the Salamangreat extra deck. Sunlight Wolf's great and all, and it returns cards like nobody's business, but Transcode Talker, or honestly, Update Jammer, is the best card in the extra deck. It lets you turn the corner in a way that no other card does. And you'll see later in the tournament, I start realizing you can go into stuff like Borreload Dragon with 2 attacks. You can do Zero Boros with 2 attacks. Like, you just get to do these really powerful things that, like, end the game. So, and as you can see, I sided for going second, and my opponent makes me go first. So, you know, circle for Gazelle. Excuse me. Oh. Summon Foul, Balinx, yada, yada, yada. You've seen this about 800 times. This is just muscle memory. I end on a Bagooska, a Roar, and a Pass. My opponent Lightning Storms me. They set 2, and they set a monster and pass. And I mind control the monster. And so I see it's a Shaddoll Dragon. I'm like, okay, I'm going to flip it up, and I'm going to target a back row. And they flip, there can be only one. And so at this point, I'm thinking, shit. And this is where I am... Oh, no, I'm not a big dumbass. I was thinking about going into Phoenix. Turns out you can't. But Gooska's a fuck. This motherfucker's a fiend. So I can't do that. But I'm thinking, okay. So I go to Battle Phase. I get in for a bunch of damage. I can't... And then I just pass turn and give the Shaddoll Dragon. This was a mistake. What I should have done is I should have linked the Balinx and the Shaddoll Dragon into a Hida so that they don't have access to that resource. Because once I see Shaddoll, I'm thinking, okay, they could do something like Super Polymerization, or they could maybe have an El Shaddoll fusion and make a fusion monster. Like, I'm giving them too many opportunities to get out of their own floodgate. I should have just linked off the Shaddoll Dragon and then just forced them to have hard resources. But clearly they didn't, so they just pass turn. They don't even attack over the Balinx, which was, like, weird. I attack into Wendy, which summons a Beast. I draw a Roar for turn, which is very critical. Because I can see at this point, my opponent has Brick. They don't have any starter cards. They have no ability to get to the Dinosaur engine of their deck. And so, like, at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to negate the Beast. Even though there's a chance I lose to something like an Oviraptor, a Diagram, you know, or even something like a Shaddoll Fusion. Just because letting you dig 2 cards deep into your deck is too risky for me to let you do it. In hindsight, I probably could have let it go through, but if they discard something like a Squamata, or specifically if they discard Hedgehog, I think I'm just dead. And so they set another monster. I normal summon Ash to make a Phoenix. To get around the first, there can only be one. They have a second one, which is quite brutal. I attack into a Miscellaneous Source for 800 Pearson. Jaguar coming through. And this is where they activate Super Polymerization. And I'm thinking, God damn it. This is where we've lost the game. They pitched a Falco. It does not trigger, thank the gods. And this thing is a chonker with like 4,600 at 4,650, and it gets in a direct attack. But at this point, I'm thinking, okay. And then I use Will to summon Gazelle to send Foxy. And at this point I'm thinking, okay, as long as I draw any Salamangreat monster, I win the game next turn. So I have a Rage ready to go. Oh, this thing goes back to 28, and they hit Fossil Bang, and I'm thinking, fantastic. And this is where I make another mistake. What I should have done is chaining to the Overraptor effect. I should have activated Rage to pop the... Or actually, no, I shouldn't have, because that would kill me. Because what I was thinking they were going to do is they were going to go into like a miscellaneous source to play. But because of their own Floodgate, they can't summon a second Dinosaur to the board. So they just send Quatless to add an Evolution Pill. And at this point, I'm in the clear. I get to wipe this Chimera off the board. I take 18 to the face. I draw a monster. And now I get to go for lethal. Granted, I had to get a little bit lucky to draw a monster there. Because if I don't, I'm probably dead. But as you can see, we get to the Transcode OTK and my opponent is dead. And that's the way it goes sometimes. You know, this was another match where, like... this match is weird to me because I don't think my opponent fully figured out what their deck wanted to do. They have a... Like, the Shaddoll engine wants you to go second. But, like, I feel like they're playing a blind second deck and they went first. Which, to me, makes no sense because... Like, the card Shaddoll Fusion is probably one of the most pushed-going second... Like, in 2015, that was the most pushed-going second card you could ever see in your life. Like, you get to fuse from the main, it's busted. But also, it just shows that, like, they drew the Shaddoll half of their deck, which, like, doesn't really do anything against Salad, which you think it would, right? Like, yeah, Wind is annoying to deal with, but if that's all you make as a Winda, Salad's going to beat you every day by just summoning a Heat Leo, attacking over Winda, having Sunlight Wolf or Cycle Ash, and then you just, like, lose the game. So I think this was a match where, like, my opponent just, like, didn't do anything impactful, and, like, I was able to capitalize on some very niche spots where, like, I knew when to turn the corner. I probably made a couple of misplays here or there, like negating things I shouldn't have negated, letting things resolve when they shouldn't have resolved. But I'm not going to complain too much. I got the win, so I'm up to 4-2 right now. Feeling okay at this spot of the tournament. You know, I wish it was better, but it's an 11-round tournament. I'm basically playing a YCS at this point, so being 4-2 and at this point in the tournament, I'm okay with. You know, it's just one of those things where as long as I keep winning, I keep smooth sailing, I keep playing like I'm playing right now, we got a decent shot, boys. But anyway, that's going to do it for round number 6. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in round number 7.